Counteroffers and negotiations happen literally every day in real estate. Doesn't matter if you're buying a house, selling a house, it's super common. And it's also common to not really know what to do, how to go about it, what's the best way, am I gonna blow it? Did I counteroffer too much? Did I scare them off? You know, no matter what side you're on, buyer or seller, it's hard to know the exact best way to navigate counteroffers. And there really isn't one bulletproof 100% best way, but there are some good practices that we've seen as home buyers, buying properties all the time, and also when we sell some of our properties, we see it on that side too. So, 2 nuggets, one for each side, that will totally change the game for you when you're counteroffering in real estate. On the seller side, so we're starting with our sellers, especially when there are multiple people interested and you have multiple offers already, this is a huge and incredibly strong tactic, is calling for highest and best. That means you tell everyone, the agents, the buyers, the investors, whoever's hitting you up and has offers, you tell them you have until Friday, submit your highest and best offer, no more negotiations after that in terms of the price, and I'm going to decide that day. So you kind of give everyone an ultimatum like, hey, especially if they already submitted an offer, hey, you can submit a higher one and I'll consider it on Friday, the deadline, or if you feel like you already did your highest offer, we'll take that and we'll put that and think about it on Friday. But this can create a bidding war. That's why it's really powerful, especially if there's multiple offers. And it kind of gives people an ultimatum and takes the pressure off of you, because you don't have to, you don't really have to negotiate up until Friday again and really have to think about it. So it's almost like a blanket overarching counteroffer to everyone. It's just saying highest and best. So that's a little more powerful, I'd say, if you have your home on the market and you're selling it that way and you've had a lot of people walk through, a lot of interest. If you're just working directly with, one buyer with an investor or something like that, doesn't always make sense. Depends on how much time you have. If you want to go get a bunch of offers, it really depends on what you're interested in at the moment and what makes sense for you. And on the buyer side, a tip for negotiating and counteroffers, more so for counteroffers and like deciding where to draw the line, is looking at when you relook at your comps, right? Because if you submit an offer, they counter, you're probably wondering, do I go that high? Do I increase my offer to what they're asking for? Do I meet them somewhere in the middle? Look at the average days on market of all the comps that you've pulled. If you haven't done that, pull some comps within the neighborhood, some properties surrounding the one that you're trying to offer on, and look at the average days on market. That's your first indication. If it's below 30 days, that means properties are selling on average in less than a month. That's not a good sign for you. That means they're selling like hotcakes, and you should probably be more considerate of what the seller is trying to counter to you. So look at that, and then one little other tip to go along with this. While you're looking at the average days on market, also look at how they were financed. This you can at least see on the MLS. So if you're a licensed realtor like myself, you have MLS access and it shows every detail about a transaction. How it was financed, meaning for that comp, it sold in 22 days at 1.3 million. And how did someone finance it? Did they finance it with a conventional loan, FHA loan, cash? That would be a lot of cash, but it could be true. And look at that. And then if you see any patterns, like if there's a lot of FHA loans or VA loans, that means people are paying retail or even above retail price. It means you might not have to go quite as high as that. Conventional is, I'd say is average. And then a cash transaction, that tells you that there's investors in the area, house flippers, and that can give you some leverage as well. Just trying to decide like what price it makes sense to counter to their counteroffer or meet them at their counteroffer. But I would look at that because sometimes there's a bunch of cash transactions in the area, and that means the area is better for house flippers. It's more for landlords. There's a lot of rental properties. More vice versa. If it's a lot of FHA loans, that means the comps might be a little high, so you can actually submit your counteroffer to their counter a little less. So anyway, those are 2 tips for buyer and seller side, counteroffering and negotiating in real estate.